This week on Common Grounds TV. We realize our job isn't so bad. We meet the nicest man in Quebec. And we see what happens when you put a cafe in a defunct bike shop.
A year, actually this is our first year anniversary. We just passed that 4 days ago. And basically Luke and I used to work at Art Java, which is another cafe, one of the first third wave cafes that opened up in Montreal. Okay. And that's where we met, and he worked there for about 4 years and befriended a guy named François who wanted to open his own cafe. So together they opened this place, and Luke kind of recruited his barista friends from various cafes around the city, and that's where we are now. This space used to be a bike shop, which is why we have those little bike chairs. It's kind of our homage to the bike shop. Plateau is pretty gentrified now. It used to be a very immigrant-rich neighborhood. It still is, but now there's a lot of students living here, a lot of yuppies, I guess you could say. You know, young couples, young upper middle class couples. So we get a really good cross-section of people coming in. Lots of old Portuguese people, lots of students. Third wave, I guess, generally represents the socio-economic relationship between independent cafes and coffee growers. And I guess, I'm not really sure what the first wave was, but first and second, I guess, are defined by, you know, the Starbucks big corporate chains, and then third wave, which started, I'm not even sure, a few years back, I guess, on the West Coast, Chicago and Seattle, by a few people who just wanted to counteract that really impersonal business approach, and started opening up little shops that worked directly with coffee growers, and you know, baristas have more personal relationships with their customers, and everything is pretty much more down to earth.
You know, it's funny what happens in this trip. Yesterday we were in Montreal, which is supposed to be just the
cultural mecca of Quebec, really.
And coffee. We've heard a lot of good things about that. And really, nothing blew us away. There was one exceptional double espresso from one of the joints, and an Americano, which was basically on par with Starbucks.
It wasn't good. It just wasn't good.
Yeah, and those two guys that made those have more technical know-how than you can imagine. We come out here to, where are we?
Rivier Du Loup, middle of Quebec.
And the place is called?
L'Innocent.
And we meet a gentleman named Martin who just blows us away with this freestyled Cafe Au Lait that is quite simply the best we've had on the trip. And you just wouldn't expect to find a place like that here.
And I mean, with a machine that's probably older than us, in a milk steamed in a milkshake container, like it's just awesome.
No thermometer. He even had kind of a hard time articulating why it was good. And we thought, oh, can he back up his claim that this is the best Cafe Au Lait? And then he just blows us all away.
Outstanding.
Love it.
Hi everybody, my name is Martin Couture and I own this restaurant and I'm making the best coffee in town.
Nice. Can you tell us where we are right now?
We are in Rivier Du Loup. It's in the middle of the province here in Quebec, and it's how do you call this piece? It's a shoulder? No, it's a
elbow. The elbow.
Coude.
Elbow.
Elmo. It's the elmo between Halifax and Toronto and Montreal, if you want. So everyone from Halifax goes to Toronto. They have to pass through this town here, Rivier Du Loup.
Great.
You know, I like to say to the tourists that I'm making the best Cafe Au Lait in Canada. But now I'm saying Canada, but I should say in the province, because I call my small Cafe Au Lait GG, and my big Cafe Au Lait is GGG. And GG, it's for Gatineau, it's extreme west, to Gaspé, extreme east of the province. So I called it a GG for a small, and the GGG is the Grand Gatineau Gaspé. It's funny because I love coffee and I love Cafe Au Lait, and I really want to make the best one.
Well, this is
extra go back there, and I'm from Montreal and I was born in the Italian area, so I had my first Cafe Au Lait at 10 years old. So my Italian friends and neighbors show me how to make a very good coffee. Nice. And I'm a coffee lover, by the way. So you see there, a real good coffee has to, I don't know how to say that, but has to leak like oil very slowly, and the color changes. It starts in black and it comes brown. And for a Cafe Au Lait, it's very in a small cup like this one, like 1 inch in the bottom of your cup, and the rest with hot milk. So now, at the same time, I can make my foam, my milk. It's a Cafe Au Lait, not a cappuccino, so not so much foam, just hot milk. Here you can see the color of the black coffee, very strong, very rich, thick. And the same thing for the milk, rich, thicky. Then here, I'm with my milk. You can see how beautiful it is. You have the best Cafe Au Lait in Quebec, or maybe in Canada.
awesome. Well, thank you very much.
My pleasure, so you can have it now.
Cheers.
Next week on Common Grounds TV,
we go to Leslieville to find some of the country's top cafes. The husband and wife team at Tearo show us their beautifully designed cafe in the heart of Toronto. And we head to the Canadian National Barista Championships.